Hello there, I am Nerve's mysterious fiance. I will be telling the story today for Storytime Monday. And as you know, we both work in the same store, in the same area, Roundabout Electronics Photo Center area. This story would take place Valentine's evening. So we're in our respective areas, and we had a gallant young lad come in. He shuffles on in with the vigor of a 90-year-old man. This man was not 90. He was a young man, skinny. I'd call him Marty McToothless, as he was missing more than one tooth. And he shuffles on into electronics, and other than his outwardly appearance, we didn't really think anything of him. He just seemed a little hobo-ish. But over he goes to Nerve to ask him questions about tablets, so nothing too bizarre. Then, totally unprompted, he mentions that he has two kids. In his words, 2 and 6. No, 3 and 6. Definitely something with 6. Nerve is a little bit confused by it then. Then he decides to switch over. We're guessing he's a Mr. T fan, as he mentioned how he had a bunch of gold rings, gold chains, and all sorts of bling that are apparently stolen from his abode. And to add insult to injury, the perpetrator pissed in his son's crib. What a shame. So, we're more than a little confused now. Then he proceeds to ask an actual question, albeit not related to electronics. He asks about shoes. And Nerve is not equipped to answer his footwear inquiries, being an electronics associate. So the man decides, well, I'll call my wife to ask her the questions about shoes. He asks to use our work phone. Now, our work phones, not only do they not call out anyway, we require them for work purposes, so he can't use it. So Nerve suggests he goes to the customer service to ask to use their phone up there. Now, we work in a fairly large store. To get up to the front and back, walking briskly, takes 3 minutes either way. Now, this man was not walking anywhere near a brisk pace. Alas, less than a minute later, back he returned over to electronics again. And Nerve asked him, well, did you get to use their phone? Oh, no. I asked some guy back here, but the asshole wouldn't let me use his phone. Now, we can't be sure. Either this guy's very confused, extremely forgetful, and that now Nerve is the only man in a wheelchair in the store, and the only man working anywhere near electronics at that time. So he's either forgetful within a minute, or he's some bizarre passive-aggressive asshole who decides to insult Nerve to his face without him picking up on it. Not sure. Anyway, after that bizarre encounter, he begins to peruse the movies and picks them up, and over to the checkout he goes to cash his movies. And he decides to beguile Nerve and 2 women behind him with a lovely story of his bouncing baby boy snake, born a healthy 6 pounds and 3 feet long. The woman shoot Nerve a perplexed glance, and he quips up with a, "You don't say." Everyone's quite freaked out by now. Clearly this man probably shouldn't be in the store. Probably belongs to one hospital or another. Anyway, he turns to me at the photo lab at this point, and I already want nothing to do with this man, just from seeing him and Nerve interact, and I'm wary of toothless shufflers. But over he comes anyway. He creeps up to me behind the counter. Now, customers are not supposed to be behind the counter, it's employees only. So as I turn to him to ask him to move to the other side so I can serve him, he shoots me the most serious, concerned, and uncomfortable glance I may have seen in a man. Something along the lines of, "No, I'm not sure what he wants. Is this guy gonna start murdering people? Not sure." I ask him, are you okay, sir? Do you need something? I'm pretty sure we know that he's not okay. But all he manages to get out is, can I have some bags? Now I'm like practically tossing the bags, like, sure, take them. Oh, can I have some hand sanitizer too? Take it all. Go on. There you go. Off he strolls on his way. I think fabulous. Maybe he'll leave now. So I go over to help a customer at the photo kiosk there. And we're having a grand old time talking about Breaking Bad. I'm helping him with his photos. A few minutes later, I hear somebody walk up behind me. And I hear, did you know that if you get a wedding photographer to do your photos and there's spots, it's $30,000? The customer slowly turns and looks behind him. Looks to me. I give him a wary glance. Don't worry about it. And oh, that's not good. Well, they shouldn't charge you that much. Oh no, he begins to mumble some incoherent gibberish. And I just nod in agreement, anything to kind of get this guy to go away. And then, from then on, he pretty much leaves me alone. I was avoiding him pretty aggressively, so that's probably why. But he decides to go harass Nerve some more. So he's traversing the movies again. I guess he wasn't finished browsing our fine selection. So he picks up a movie and calls Nerve over, I'm assuming to ask some questions. And lo and behold, he has in his hand a copy of The Conjuring. We know this is going to end fabulously. So, before Nerve can even get a word out of his mouth, the man apparently sees shadow people along with his wife and hears voices. And I suppose these shadow people are into interior decorating / satanic worship, because they told him to lift the curtain in his living room, under which there was a green pentagram drawn in crayon. Now, naturally, this conversation went from 0 to demonic possession in 3.5, which, this is where the fun part really begins. As soon as he mentions that he's been possessed by demons, he begins to vomit blood everywhere. Now, I'm very glad by now that I had given him the bags despite the uncomfortable encounter, because it cut down on the cleanup dramatically. Now, this was the climactic fuck this shit moment, in which we called a manager to prevent him from puking on anybody else. Pretty sure that's against policy. Can't puke on the customers. And, manager came by. Couldn't really do anything. He stayed there for a good solid 3 to 5 hours. When we're closed, even took him a long time after that to leave, but eventually he got out of there. All I can say is I sincerely hope that man was not driving, and if all the interesting customers are like that, Nerve can go ahead and keep them. This has been Storytime Monday. Like, share, and subscribe if you liked it, and have a great day.